Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I filmed a tutorial on this look here, and it's kind of like a first impressions on a couple of new products that I received. So if you would like to see how I created this look and how I feel about my new products, then just keep watching. So using one of the smaller brushes from my makeup brush set, I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of concealer from the Woosh Beauty palette. So far so good. It seems quite creamy. It has good coverage. I'm going to take the little brush that came with Woosh Beauty. So they have this cool brush that it comes with, and then it pulls apart and there's this little guy. So what does it say this is for? This actually says it's for eyeshadow, but I like that it's nice and flat, so I'm actually going to use that for concealer. I just have a couple blemishes that I want to do a little bit more coverage on, so I'm going to mix the two shades. You want to kind of pat the most product on to the actual blemish and then kind of blend out around it. And then lastly, I'm just going to take that lighter shade again and just go right up the middle of my nose. And a little dot on the tip of your nose just to kind of create that little ball. And to blend things out, I'm actually going to use this other brush. They have this as a contour brush, but just looking at the shape, I feel like this will fit really nicely under the eye, which it does. Next, I'm going to just prime my eyes, and I'm using the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I'm really liking these brushes. Like, it's so nice to just cover such a large surface area, and I do feel like it makes everything blend out quite evenly. So to set my under eyes, I am going to use just a translucent powder, my NYC powder. I've used this stuff for years. It's like super inexpensive. By the way, I did a video I can link below on kind of makeup brushes for beginners, and a lot of them were to do with the Morphe brushes. I still really like the Morphe brushes. The only thing I will say is that over time I'm definitely having issues with like the bristles falling out and falling onto my face. And then also I can't remember what you call this, but this, that happening. I'm going to use the lighter of these two blenders, they call them, to set my foundation. So just taking this one here. These powders look to be quite matte, which is good, definitely good for me. To fill my brows, I'm going to be using the NYX Cosmetics Micro Brow Pencil. This one is in black. When I'm doing my brows, I'm really defining the outer tail with like the arch and the tail with my pencil, but then I go in with powder for the middle just so they're not too heavy. I still kind of struggle with my brows. I don't know how people do these like beautiful kind of ombre, like they just fade into nothing. I don't get it. I keep trying. In front of my brows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Duo, and I just kind of blend the powder to meet where I've penciled them in. So now going in again with the Woosh, I hope I'm saying that right, Woosh palette. I'm just going to use what they have labeled as base, and again going in with my Morphe brush. I love these bigger flat brushes just to kind of do a nice wash of color all over the lid without taking a whole lot of time. Only thing that I think this palette is missing is just one more matte shade as kind of a transition. So I'm going to go into one of my Morphe palettes for that. So this is the 350 matte palette. I'm going to go in with this one here with a nice big fluffy blending brush. So just starting kind of at the outer V. And once I kind of have like most of the product placed down, then I'm going to start moving it around. And then bringing it up towards the brow bone. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this kind of shimmery bronzy shade. They call it the Define shade. I'm going to be taking another one of my Morphe brushes from that same set. And I'm just kind of, again, patting the color on and then slowly moving it up towards the crease. And I'm just going to go back in with that same fluffy brush I was using for the transition and just kind of blend that together. Before I get too much farther along, I'm going to use this I think it's called Illyria, and it is a lip plumper. I got this from Polished Laser, and I like to put this on kind of towards the beginning of doing my makeup. That way it has a little bit of time to kind of set in, and it is quite glossy, so if you were wanting to use a matte or a liquid lipstick, then it has time to kind of set in, and then you can wipe off any shine that is left. So it does tingle a little bit. So the next thing that I'm going to use, I'm really excited to try. So this is a brush that came with Woosh, and basically it's like a stamp brush. There we go. So it's to help with making like the outer V of your eye. So if you struggle with kind of making those even or just kind of smoking it out on the side, the idea is that you literally stamp it on and then kind of blend it out. So I'm interested to see how this goes. I am going to use their darkest shade here. So it's the Line shade. Okay, let me just see how this ends up. Okay. Okay, can you see that? I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. I'm gonna take just a smaller blending brush. This one's from Morphe, and just kind of go in and blend that a bit. I'm gonna take my Sigma kind of pencil brush. What number are you? My E30 brush, and just dip it into that same shade, and I'm just going to fill in that little triangle that we made with the brush. Like, I think this could be a useful tool, but I don't know if it's like a requirement necessarily for doing your makeup. And I'm just going to go back in with that other brown shade and just kind of blend it in. And I will take this flat side on the other side. It's just like a liner brush, and line the rest of my eye here. So I'm just kind of tapping that in to my lash line. This brush is actually quite nice, like this side of it. It's nice and thin. They have a shade here called Shine that looks to be just kind of like a nice champagne color. And this brush is by Real Techniques. Pretty. Oh, this is good. I'm going to take that same shade from Morphe and just really nicely like buff it out and just get a good base happening on the under eye. And when you're doing the under eye, it's super helpful to be looking up just to create a bit more space there for you. I'm going to go in with my pencil brush again, and I'm just using that brown shade that we used all over the lid. But this time I'm just focusing it on the outer corner. I've been using the Maybelline Eye Studio. This is a cream liner, I think, in Blackest Black. I'm lining it up with my waterline and then just pulling it out. And then pulling it back in on the top. For lashes, I'm going to be using my Luxe Mafia lashes. I do have a discount code for these, so if you use the code LuxeMegan at checkout, you can get free shipping on these little babies. And then I pop it right in the middle first, kind of get it secured down, and then I pull the sides down. To contour and highlight, I'm going to be using my NYX palette, this second shade here. You know, you've seen like 8 million people do this and all you want to do is try. So I totally just forgot that the Woosh palette has a contour in it. A contour and a highlight. But I don't want any darker. Now, they have some really pretty blush shades in here. So I'm like super drawn, not surprisingly, to this top one here. And I'm gonna try their little blush brush. I will say that I can already see myself getting oily. I don't know if that's just like my ring light or my oily skin, or if these powders maybe aren't the best for keeping things matte. They also have a shimmer shade. It's like another kind of champagne-y looking one, so we'll use that for highlight. That looks pretty. It's not too shimmery. Sometimes I have a hard time with that, especially being so oily. I'm like, okay, I don't need to like look greasy, not greasy, but like that shiny before I even get going. And then last but not least, we'll do lips. I'm just gonna wipe off any of that excess plumper that I had on. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but I like it. To line my lips, I'm going to use NYX Cosmetic in Nude. Then I got 2 lip glosses from Woosh. This one on the left is it on your left? I don't know. But anyways, this one is a little more like coppery than I had envisioned. So I'm gonna go with this one. It looks a little bit more nude. It does have some nice shimmer to it. That's really pretty. Okay, I don't have any setting spray right now, so that is it for the look today. I have to say I'm pretty happy with all of the products I tried today. These brushes I think were like actually quite shockingly nice, just the way they spread the product on, so I'm definitely happy with that. I do like this palette as well, the one from Woosh. Again, the only thing that I think it's missing is like one more matte for a transition shade. Other than that, I think this would be a really nice palette to take with you if you're traveling or just getting started. This brush, again, I think it's good. I think it's super cool. Like the concept is really cool, and maybe if you played with it a bit more, it could be more helpful. So I like it. I'm gonna probably try it a few more times, but I wouldn't say it's like a must buy or that it's like a game changer. I hope that you liked this video and you found it informative or helpful in some way. If you did like it, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more from me, then just go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. I will see you all so soon. Bye guys.